what would become known as the Dene Nation. And they occupied a very large area because at one point we are told that there were at least 1.5 million Dene. The Dene had their form of government long before the Europeans arrived on this continent. And like the tribes that are referred to as the 5 civilized tribes back in the eastern part of this continent, in the United States presently, they contributed to the way that the government was formed as far as the founding fathers are concerned in history. Because you can read when Ben Franklin went and lived among the native people for a period of time, and his suggestion to the Continental Congress at that time was that they fashioned a government after the government that was set up by native people. And it was that our people, the Dene, even though that they were out here in the southwest among the lands that we refer to as the Netra, which was the land that was located between the Colorado River and the San Juan. And that would go and extend all the way up into present-day Grand Junction, Colorado. And the eastern boundary was the Rio Grande. And so back in those days, the people that would become Dene were small groups of people that had survived various catastrophes and that, and they came together and formed a what would become known as the Dene Nation. And they occupied a very large area because at one point we are told that there were at least 1.5 million Dene, and it was composed of almost 150 different clan groups. And each clan group, or a group of maybe smaller clan groups, had a representative to a council. And these leaders were known as Nahatayeni, or later on they called them Natani, which means people that were specially gifted with leadership. The Natani would come together at least twice a year, which would probably be in present-day month of April and the month of October, which would be the spring equinox and the fall equinox. And they would come together in a big council meeting. And they were led by 6 peace chiefs and 6 war chiefs. And those were the 12 men that were responsible for listening to what the entire society of Dene wanted. And so it was, they had their annual meetings twice a year. And that's really interesting, because it is that they were able to represent every single member of the groups of the clans, and that nobody was left out in voicing their opinion on things that needed to be responded to. And it was a very effective government that our people had. It was carried on for a long time, that there was very little disagreement among the Dene, because they had the foundation of what they referred to as Ke, which is kinship. So everyone was related in the tribe. And so that's the story of the Dene and the way that our government was originally set up.